सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्च अर्थेष्वभिघ्नस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो अमृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्य किल शक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यान् हस्तचरण श्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। ॐ समस्त देवताभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराण आचार्येभ्यो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम श्री महाविष्णवे परब्रह्मणे ओम ब्रह्मणे सनकादिमुनिभ्यो नारदाय वेदव्यासाय शुकब्रह्मर्षे सूतमहामुने शौनकादृशुभ्यो अत्र्यादृशुभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम श्री कृष्ण परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणम् एकादश स्कन्धः मुक्तिः हित्वा अन्यथा रूपम स्वरूपेण व्यवस्थितिः। अथ विंशोऽध्यायः। श्रीभगवानुवाच। Let us chant from mantra number 20. मनोगतिं न विसृजेत जितप्राणो जितेन्द्रियः सत्त्वसम्पन्नया बुद्ध्या मन आत्मवशं नयेत एष वै परमो योगः। मनसः संग्रहः स्मृतः हृदयज्ञत्वमन्विच्छन् दम्यस्येवार्वतो मुहुः सांख्येन सर्वभावानां प्रतिलोमानुलोमतः भवाप्ययावनुध्यायेत् मनो यावत् प्रसीदति निर्विण्णस्य विरक्तस्य पुरुषस्योक्तवेदिनः मनस्त्यजति दौरात्म्यं चिन्तितस्यानुचिन्तया यमादिभिर्योगपथैः आन्वीक्षिक्या च विद्यया ममार्चोपासनाभिर्वा नान्यैर्योग्यं स्मरेन्मनः यदि कुर्यात् प्रमादेन योगी कर्म विगर्हितं योगेनैव दहेदंहः नान्यत् तत्र कदाचन। स्वे स्वेधिकारे या निष्ठा सगुणः परिकीर्तितः कर्मणां जाति अशुद्धानाम् अनेन नियमः कृतः गुणदोषविधानेन संगानां त्याजनेच्छया जातश्रद्धो मत्कथासु निर्विण्णः सर्वकर्मसु वेददुःखात्मकान् कामान् परित्यागेऽप्यनेश्वरः ततो भजेत मां प्रीतः श्रद्धाळुर्दृढनिश्चयः जुषमाणश्च तान् कामान् दुःखोदर्हांश्च गर्हयन्न प्रोक्तेन भक्तियोगेन भजतो मास कृन्मुनेः कामा हृदया नश्यन्ति सर्वे मयि हृदि स्थिते भिद्यते हृदयग्रन्थिः छिद्यन्ते सर्वसंशयाः क्षीयन्ते चास्य कर्माणि मयि दृष्टे अखिलात्मनि तस्मात् मद्भक्तियुक्तस्य योगिनो वै मदात्मनः न ज्ञानं न च वैराग्यं प्रायः श्रेयो भवेदिह यत्कर्मभिर्यत् तपसा ज्ञानवैराग्यतश्च यतु योगेन दानधर्मेण श्रेयोभिरितरैरपि सर्वं मद्भक्तियोगेन मद्भक्तो लभतेञ्जसा स्वर्गापवर्गमद्धाम कथञ्चित् यदि वाञ्छति न किंचित साधवो धीराः भक्ता हि एकान्तिनो मम वाञ्छन्त्यपि मया दत्तं कैवल्यम् अपुनर्भवम् नैरपेक्ष्यं परं प्राहुः निःश्रेयसम् अनल्पकम् तस्मात् निराशिषो भक्तिः निरपेक्षस्य मे भवेत् न मय्येकान्तभक्तानां गुणदोषोद्भवा गुणाः साधूनां समचित्तानां बुद्धेः परमुपेयुषाम् एवमेतान्मयादिष्ठान् अनुतिष्ठन्ति मे पथः क्षेमं विन्दन्ति मत्स्थानं यद्ब्रह्म परमं विदुः इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे पारमहंस्यां संहितायाम् एकादशस्कन्धे विंशोऽध्यायः। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। ओम एष वै परमो योगः मनसः संग्रहः स्मृतः हृदयज्ञत्वमन्विच्छन् दम्यस्यैवार्वतो मोहो साङ्ख्येन सर्वभावानां प्रतिलोमानुलोमतः भवाप्यावनुध्यायन् मनो यावत् प्रसीदते निर्विण्णस्य विरक्तस्य पुरुषस्योक्तवेदिनः मनस्त्यजति दौरात्म्यं चिन्तितस्यानुचिन्तया यमादिभिर्योगपथैरान्वीक्षिक्या च विद्यया ममावर्चोपासनाभिर्वा नान्यैर्योग्यं स्मरेन् मनः यदि कुर्यात् प्रमादेन योगी कर्म विगर्हितं योगेनैव दहेदं हः नान्यत्तत्र कदाचन स्वे स्वेधिकारे या निष्ठा सगुणः परिकीर्तितः कर्मणां जात्यशुद्धानाम् अनेन नियमः कृतः गुणदोषविधानेन सङ्गानां त्याजनेच्छया जातश्रद्धो मत्कथासु निर्विण्णः सर्वकर्मसु वेददुःखात्मकान् कामान् परित्यागेऽप्यनेश्वरः ततो भजेत मां प्रीतः श्रद्धाळुर्दृढनिश्चयः जुषमाणस्य तान् कामान् दुःखोदर्कान् शकरहयन् प्रोक्तेन भक्तियोगेन भयतो मास कुरुन्मुनेः कामा हृदया नश्यन्ति सर्वे मयि हृदि स्थिते विद्यते हृदयग्रन्थे छिद्यन्ते सर्वसंशयाः क्षीयन्ते चास्य कर्माणि मयि तुष्टेऽखिलात्मने तस्मान्मद्भक्तियुक्तस्य योगिनो वै मदात्मनः न ज्ञानं न च वैराग्यं प्रायः श्रेयो भवेद्यः यत्कर्मभिर्यत्तपसा ज्ञानवैराग्यतस्य यतो योगेन दानधर्मेण श्रेयोभिरितरैरभे सर्वं मद्भक्तियोगेन मद्भक्तो लभते अञ्जसा स्वर्गापवर्गं मद्धाम कथञ्चित् यदि वाञ्छते न किञ्चित् साधवो धीरा भक्ता ह्येकान्तिनो मम वाञ्छन्त्यपि मया दत्तं कैवल्यम् अपुनर्भवम् नैरपेक्षं परं प्राहुर्निःश्रेयसमनल्पकं तस्मात् निराशिषो भक्तिर्निरपेक्षस्य मे भवेत् न मय्येकान्तभक्तानां गुणदोषोद्भवा गुणाः साधूनां समचित्तानां बुद्धे परमुपेयुषाम् एवमेतान्मयादिष्टान् अनुतिष्ठन्ति मे पदः क्षेमं विन्दन्ति मत्स्थानं यद्ब्रह्म परमं विदुः इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे पारमहंस्यां संहितायाम् एकादशस्कन्धे विंशोऽध्यायः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम श्री भागवत शरणं मम श्री सद्गुरु शरणं मम श्री सूत शरणं मम श्री शुकदेव शरणं मम श्री व्यास शरणं मम श्री नारद शरणं मम श्री कुमार शरणं मम श्री ब्रह्मा शरणं मम श्री विष्णु शरणं मम श्री परब्रह्म शरणं मम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम शरणं मम शरणं मम श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। ओम मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं स्वर्गे सत्ये च कैलासे वैकुण्ठे नास्त्ययं रसः अतः पिबन्तु सद्भाग्याः मामुञ्चितकर्हिचित्। ओम श्री नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम श्री कृष्ण परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणम् एकादशस्कन्धः मुक्तिरित्वा अन्यथा रूपं स्वरूपेण व्यवस्थिति अथ विंशोऽध्यायः। श्रीभगवानुवाच Having saluted all gurus, all Bhagavatacharyas, and also Bhagavan Krishna and Narayana, we are now entering into this Bhagavatam 20th chapter of 11th Skandha, and we are seeing one by one shloka how Bhagavan is guiding regarding our Adhyatmika sadhana. And all falls in one place called as Manaha Sangraha. So that topic we were seeing yesterday. Eshavai paramo yoga manasaha sangraha smrutaha. So totally bringing the mind into our control is called parama yoga, not destroying the mind. That is why even in yoga, chitta vritti nirodha is done, not chitta nirodha. Vritti is nirodhita, but chitta is there for you to use it wherever, whenever, whatever the way we want. And vritti rahita chitta is one with Paramatma only. It is chit swarupa, as we are studying in our morning Upanishad. So he gave us the example of the horse also, how it is to be slowly, steadily trained till it understands what is in our heart. So that whatever the type of guidance we give that horse will move. The leftness, the rightness, the forwardness, the behindness, the hopping or jumping or halting or running or going slow, whatever it is. So too, the mana also has to be brought into our control. This is Parama Yoga. And as long as the number of asanas are more very powerful and wrong training is given to the mind, wrong habits, so long it won't happen. Therefore, the right training is to be given, proper positive habit is given to it, and all those habits are this bhajana, puja, kirtana, japa, ityad. So too through karma yoga, the vasanas are removed. So the mind is pushed from behind because of vasanas, pulled from outside because of the temptation of sense organs, sense objects, and disturbed within because of its own nature, its own habit. In all those aspects, we have to understand our mind and bring it to control. That is what purpose of the entire Adhyatmic sadhana. Then that controlled mind, when it is in devotion offered to the Lord or in meditation transcended, we see the Paramatma. Now here, from again 111 shloka, Bhagavan is giving more and more suggestions and tips for our sadhana. We have to be very careful to note every one of them. Like in the world also, we may do business, but to excel in business, how intelligent, sharp, and hardworking we have to be. We may be an officer, but to effectively work in that office, we have to be intelligent, sharp, and very hardworking there also. We may be a politician, but there also to excel, serve the public, we have to be very sharp, intelligent, and hardworking. Everywhere so. Else our efforts would not yield the better, best results. Here also, while studying Bhagavata and understanding theme, we have to be very intelligent to grasp, very sharp also. This is what was said by Vidurji also in the morning in Vidur Niti. If you see, Kshiprmeva Abhijanati, very quickly he knows, and then Dirgam Shrunoti, then Jnatva Eva Karoti Nakamataha. Do you remember all those slokas? See, all goes together. So we should have that stability, ability, stamina, effort to patiently taking each chapter and all the points written in that and grasp them and keep in the heart if you can. If not, write in a notebook and keep on remembering that. Without these simple looking, very important exercises, whatever we study just is forgotten only. It never goes deeply into our heart as conviction, and that won't never lead to any inspiration for us to practice. अब करे कहाँ रहेगा याद ही नहीं है क्या पढ़ा. To understand why we are not truly highly evolved sadhaka, because what we have studied we don't remember, because after listening to remember whatever the homeworks have to be done, we have not done. Any subject for the matter, if somebody comes to the 9th class of physics, what was taught in 6th, 7th, 8th, he must remember. But the education system is as if you pass that class, you remember or not, doesn't matter, go ahead. इस तरह से है वो. ऐसा नहीं होता. And second, thousands of things we take as important and we scatter our mind in all those things. Then mind loses all its ability of concentration, gaining the knowledge, etc. Because so much kachra bhara hua hai. No, these are the ones which we have to be very careful about. Very strict we have to be regarding the information we gather in our heart. In that, if we want to gather information of spiritual knowledge and it should sustain in our heart, it should inspire us to do sadhana. then all other things we should consider as non-essential nonsense only. We should not allow it to enter. These are all general tips. Else we forget all the knowledge in which is heard. It has never become knowledge, nor even information it is. You just at the time of class, we just heard it little bit because we are not yet completely slept, little bit feel like understanding that. So of course I hota hai. But a genuine, serious, sincere seeker is something different. He works on it. He works very hard in it. He is very sharp in that. He is very intelligent. Sudetata mati manachitalai. So, yeah, Shraddha, Dharana, Medha. Like that, we have to know. So, now Bhagavan says in 22 mantra, Sankhena Sarva Bhavanam Pratilomanu Bhavapyavanudhyayetu Mano Yavat Prasidati. Yesterday, we took the entire 45 minutes class only for this shloka explanation. By the Sankhya Jnana given to us in the Shastras Vedanta, in which Parabrahma Paramatma is Maya Shakti, then he became Ishvara, that Maya became Mahatattva, he became Hiranyagarbha, that Mahatattva became Samashti Hankara, then he became Virat Purusha, that Samashti Hankara got divided into Sattvic, Rasic, Tamasic, from that all Devatas came, all Antargana Jnanendriyas came, Panchamahabhutas came, then they got mixed up, Stula Dehas are made into that. In that Antakarana, Paramatma reflected as Jiva. This is the Pratiloma. Then what is Anuloma? Same way the entire world from last point to entering into up to Maya Shakti, it get dissolved. So this is how Srushti Pralaya happens. All are in the Maya. They are not touching Paramatma. Therefore, 100 times or 10, 20 times, when you do this Pratiloma, Anuloma, Vicharana, then the importance we give it to the world slowly goes away in the mind. It anyway will end. Therefore, I did not hold on to it. That sort of very essential Vairagya comes. With that, mind is in control. Like children are interested in some playthings. If you tell how many types of losses they incur at that, where they get Vairagya. Once Vairagya is over, done, it is easy to control children. In fact, need not control. Once they have Vairagya, they themselves leave it. We also, through the Chintana, Pratiloma, Anuloma, we must know that this all world imagination coming in this sequence and goes back. It has no purpose at all. For the Lord, it is His Leela. For you and I, only two purposes. One of fulfilling dharma, second as taking all these sequential creation as the ladder to reach to Paramatma in our inner meditation. Consciously also, through Laya Prakriya, the Sthula slowly we merge in the Sukshma and Sukshma in the Karana, and that which is Karana Rahita Karana of the Karana, the pure Paramatma, we enter into. That's the only purpose of creation. Note this point today. The purpose of creation and our presence in the created world has only one purpose, to know the Paramatma. And to know that, you do finish all your obligatory duties and take up the second duty of knowing Him. Sarva Dharma and Mamekam Sharanam Raja Dharma. Only these two are the dharmas are there. Sarva Dharma Karo, Teja Karo, then Mamekam Sharanam Raja Dharma. That is very clear. Then Sankhena Sarva Bhavanam Pratiloma Anulomataha Bhavapyav Anudhyayet. What it should lead to? Mano Yavat Prasidati. Till the mind is convinced about the non-importanceness and reality of the world. That is called the prasannata of the mana. It is convinced. It is somehow or the other explained, and that mana understands. From the avyakta, the vyakta world appeared, and again it goes back to avyakta. And in that bargain, nothing is permanent. That type of understandings. We should not hold on to anything. And the more value importance we give to attachment, the more we become bound by that dukhi. And that's what corrupts our mind, makes mind impotent, weakens. Such one can never be able to do meditation. In so many ways, After understanding pratiloma of the creation and anuloma of the dissolution, with along with that, if these many thoughts we entertain, then mana prasidati. Mana prasidati means what? It starts listening to our words. If all this is not taught, mind forcefully tells us to do what it wants. And what it wants is its own desires, its own vasanas, its own sankalpa. It wants us to accept them and do. संकल्प आ गया, डिजायर आ गया, उसके पीछे total worldly only we remain as. But through the knowing of bhava of the srishti, bhava of the srishti, through pratiloma anuloma prakriya, the mana can be brought into control. That is the way. And that's those shastras where this srishti, pralaya are explained, we have to keep on studying them. Now that comes in 12th skandha of Bhagavata, that Markandeya Rishi's story. 5th skandha, it was exhaustively explained to us. Right now also we said in short how the entire creation gets manifested and again goes back. Therefore it is not real, it is not permanent, it is not so important. So in the whole Srishti, whatever the things around are there, beings around are there, also the same. So we not that much worry of total Srishti, but if the total Srishti itself has Bhavapya, even the things and beings around also are Bhavapya, like my own Deha. It is also part of Srishti. Like the Srishti has got Bhava and Apya, Pratiloma, Anuloma, my Deha also Pratiloma, Anuloma. Through Pratiloma, through mother, father, born and grown. Anuloma, as we cross age of 50, slowly it goes. In the Pratiloma Prakriya, it was Bhava. In the Anuloma Prakriya is Apyaya. Bhava is creation, Apyaya is dissolution. So to every relation in the world, every experience in the world, every gain in the world, every loss in the world. It has been so from time immemorial. Of every sort in general, in particular, and in general the total thing. Every sort in particular means, as I said about my deha, my vrittis, my sukha, my dukkha. So to my sambandha bandhavya. In the same way in the world, the trees, they are born, they grow, pratiloma and bhava. And after a certain time, slowly they get decayed and they disappear. Anuloma and apyaya. So the waves are born, staying, they go away. Is it not the seasons are coming, stay, and they go away? You can observe that, as the season comes of mango, now it's the season. So much of flowers, देखते देखते सैकड़ों सैकड़ों आम लटकेंगे वहाँ गुच्छे गुच्छे. And as the month of May, June comes, so you can see slowly they recede. Nothing remains there. In this way, everything in this world has bhava, peya. In that, the pratiloma from the avyakta, it is becoming into vyakta. In the anuloma from the vyakta, it is going back to avyakta. Avyakta is unmanifest, vyakta is manifest. Avyaktaadhini bhutani, vyaktamadhyani, avyakta nidhanani, tatraka. Now, as I was saying it from last 10 minutes, slowly it is sinking. But each of us consciously, when we think for ourselves in this way, and so many examples, then the nature of the world's creation, staying, dissolution becomes acceptable to the world mind. Then that mind will not long be hold on to anything as it is permanent. That's the problem. Mind perceiving the world is not problem. But wanting the world to be permanent, whether it is things or situation, being or relation or experience, that is called as attachment. So that aspect we have to drop. Otherwise, as long as we are alive, we are doing sadhana till we get the siddhi. We have to see the world, we have to perceive the world. Everything is normal. If the Guru's ashrama is there, I am staying here. So I have to walk. While walking, I have to have the eyes, I have to wear the chappal, I have to see the road, I should not fall down. कोई भी व्यवहार छूटता नहीं है. I will go and do pranam to him and I do seva to him and he guides me. ये सब क्या व्यवहार ही तो है. और ये सब करने के लिए मन तो चाहिए. We are not killing the mind. We are not aborting the functional ability of the mind. But we are understanding the ephemerality of things. That is enough for the mind to make it important to bind us. It should not be potent to bind through fancies and imaginations. And so many other knowledges also we add. that according to the karma, the phala comes and every phala ends because karma is limited. And any great karma we do, great phala comes, but that also ends. There was something permanent we should seek. To this type of higher understanding, the mind will evolve. That's how everyone who starts doing sadhana in their time's maturity, they grow to this level. Okay, Sankhena Sarvabhavanam Pratilomanulomataha Bhavapyavanudhyayet Manoyavat Prasiddhi. Now, another advantage of this is what? When we keep on understanding this ki Bhavapya, then Pratiloma, Anuloma, Pratiloma, Anuloma, then in the world, whatever tragedies, calamities, anything happen, good things also happen, we know they end. Like today morning, I was getting this thought. In last 2 3 years, some great people of different fields died. Some musicians, some singers, some players, some politicians, they died. No, if you sentimentally, emotionally see, that is different scene. But if you see from spiritual angle, from the time immemorial, right from creation onwards, such people of greatness were thrown into this world for some time, of all fields. And they stayed sometime, they went away. In that, even avatars came and went away. Great rishis, munis came, manifested, did their bit and went away. Great kings came and ruled and went away. Some very terrible rakshasas like Ravana, Hiranyakashipu were born. They also did whatever ruining they could do, but they also had to go. Who are the ones who are not projected in the world again and again? Yeah, they go. But in our time, whoever are there, we give so much importance to that and we think they are permanent, they should be permanent. वो होता भी नहीं आपके विचार करने से. They come, they put up their show, they go away. Like that, we are also. We also have come many a times into his horizon, did whatever bit we could do, the addition or a subtraction to the happiness of the world, disappeared. Those were the lives where we are subconscious or unconscious or immature or ignorant. Now we are, through study of Shastras, guidance of the masters, we are becoming matured in these three aspects. As long as I am here, I must better myself. As long as I am here, I must be contributor to the world. As long as I am given the opportunity of human being, I must evolve to reach to the self. So we have got this idea. We can perform better. But we also again will have to appay hamara bhi hone wala. Again we come. Nowhere we go. This only the karma bhumi, sadhana bhumi. Yahi, in this life, if you are born in Delhi, next life you will be born in Tamil Nadu or somewhere. Somewhere else. कुछ लोग वो लोग इधर उधर जाएंगे. The Hungarian will born in Poland, Poland wale born in England, England, Finland, Finland in Netherlands, Netherlands in Holland, Holland in New Zealand. They will land somewhere. Is it not? यही घूमते रहेंगे. Nothing. Come, go till we reach the truth. So these many benefits are there if a bhava apya of the entire creation according to anuloma pratiloma prakriya, pratiloma anuloma prakriya happening. And this is what is taught by Sankhya Shastra. Sankhya means knowledge. Don't go to Sankhya philosophy there. This through our study of Shastras. Little subtly, if you see, take the help of Mandukya Upanishad. They though very clearly are teaching us last 7 8 days. If you remember, last 10 days of ours were so thoroughly repeating this knowledge about how the ignorance of the self giving chance for Maya to work, which allows the Chitta to manifest as well as Chitta manifested because of the Vasanas, makes the Chitta to Spandana. The Spandita Chitta makes appear the Dvaita of Grahak and Grahya. And in that Grahya, again according to Vasanas, variety of names and forms are imagined. That's how the creation happens. Creation is only a abhasa. We have studied in the morning class so many days. The Alata Prakarana, the entire purpose of Alata Prakarana is all the Rujuvakra abhasas are abhasa. They are appearing in different shapes as straight or rectangular, triangular, circular, or that diagonal, but none of them are real. In the same way, the world of Stula, Sukshma, Karana, Veshti, Samashti, with so many of Jada, Chetana, of Jitna, Videgrajam, Abhasa hai. The all Abhasas have happened because of Spandana of the Mana. Then the proofs were given. When the Chitta Spandana stopped, either in Samadhi, or in Murcha, or in Dhyana, or in Nidra, there's no world at all. Abhasas are not at all there. And the subtle thing was said was chitta is none other than chit only. Therefore, the abhasas are not a part of chitta. In the movement of chitta, they appeared. Like Rujuvakra abhasas are not the part of that mashal or the torch. In the movement of the torch, those shapes appeared, but they are not part of it. That was explained. Those abhasas never came from the torch, never entered into the torch, never came from somewhere else, never went somewhere else. See how clearly our Karikakara explained all that. That's the highest level of study of Bhavapya or Pratiloma Anuloma. That if he thoroughly studies, then how much our substantial the world appears with all the tsunamis, bhukampas, heavy rains and tufans, and the countries fighting with each other, killing each other. Even big collision of the stars, planets happen. Even all of them also at the highest inquiry of Mandukya Karikas level, they all in Chitta Spandana only. Not more real than that. Chitta Spandana only. Whole creation itself Chitta Spandana. Like in dream also, we can have tufans, we can have cyclones, we can have earthquakes, we can even imagine two planets or any stars colliding. You can have a dream of that. Hence, that type of terrible scene also may be created. But when you wake up, it's all a concept of mind only, no? Imagination of the mind. So too, we can see all that in the movie. So realistic. Those days of 3D movie, आजकल उसका क्या हाल है नहीं पता. It appeared that animals came and attacked you. Children used to be frightened कि जो heart attacks भी हुए होंगे. आजकल वो नहीं होता. But this won't come to our understanding in 1 or 2 days listening of Shastra. For lives together, we have to study like a great, totally involved scientist for ourselves. Then slowly that understanding comes. उसका हम initiation पाए हैं इस life में. It's only initiation, it's only beginning. The later stages are each one independently delves deeply in their own contemplative seat to discover the truth of all this. What is to be known is already said. We need not do anything. परमात्मा क्या है, सृष्टि कहाँ से आया है, एक इसमें सत्यता कितनी है, सत्यता क्यों देते हैं, देकर कैसे बंधन में आते हैं. All that our Rishi Munis have given us in the Shastra. We have to work on them for our own conviction, evolution, experience of the truth. So in this way, each of these shlokas of Bhagavatam, so many explanations, deep details are there. Thoda touch kiya humne just to say that the entire creation comes into manifestation as a sthula rupa, and continuously the karana becoming sukshma, sukshma becoming sthula, sthula entering to sukshma, sukshma entering to karana. हो ही रहा है. At one part of the world now, the water is getting evaporated. Is it not? Another part, it is becoming condensed. At third place, it is raining. At the fourth place, it is becoming an ice block. Is it not happening at this very moment? We may not aware which place, but definitely depending on the temperature's variance, it's happening. Everywhere it is so. So too, some place a tree is getting dried up and dying away. Somewhere a tree is yielding fruit. Somewhere the tree is getting flowers. For some place, trees are getting fresh flowers. In other place, trees just growing only. कोई कोई तो सैपलिंग स्टेज में है, कोई सीड अंदर लगा है, कोई लगा ही नहीं, कहीं खेत जोत रहे हैं. Is it not happening? Everywhere it is so. Somewhere cotton is grown, another place it is made as thread, third place it is made as cloth, some other place the cloth is stitched into a dress, another place somebody bought it and wearing, some other place it has become old, in other place it is torn, in other place isko jala ke rakho. It's not, is it not happening? Everything so. Somebody's place somebody is born, some place somebody का क्या है ना नामकरण हो रहा है ना. इन सम प्लेस उसको अन्नप्राशन हो रहा है, इन अदर प्लेस इज विद्याभ्यास इज डन, अक्षराभ्यास है. सम प्लेस हमका किसी का उपनयन हो रहा है. बंदे जो भी हो, इट्स ऑल गोइंग ऑन. सम प्लेस गोइंग टू स्कूल, कॉलेज, कोई शादी हो गया है, किसी बच्चे हो, somebody dying this very moment. This very moment, the moment when I said very moment, so many varieties are happening. That's how the creation. Now, to which one you will value? If you value, we get bond in that. Don't value excessively, unduly. And what is the right way of valuing? They are there for us to do dharma and seva, and using them as a ladder, go deeper in your meditation. And this aspect I can't explain now, it takes time. What is the meaning of using them as ladder? And means what? In our own state of meditation, after quietening the mind, then through the inquiry, you discover how the cause became causal became subtler, subtler became the gross. Then slowly, consciously merge the gross in the subtle, subtle in the causal, and to that causal also we are the witness. This is called as laya prakriya, through which in meditation the gross into subtle, into causal, into atma. This is what is said in all Upanishads. Yached vang manasi prajna tadyached jnanamatmani jnanamatmani mahadaniya chet tadyached shanti atmani. How many times it was said in different Upanishads? Indriyabhya para artha artebhya paramanaha manasasa para buddhir atman mahan paraha mahata param avyaktam avyaktat purusha paraha purushana param kinche sakashta saparagatihi. That's what said. In Mandukya Upanishad, all the Stula Sukshma have come from the Karana. In the Karana, one is Avidya, another is Vasanas. So remove the Vasanas to Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and remove the Avidya by the Vidya. When the Vasanas are gone one away, the removal of Vasanas removes the possibility of Anyatha Grahanam. And when through Vidya the self is apprehended, the Agrahanam goes away. When the Agrahanam and Anyatha gone away, there is no Jagra Swapna Sushupti. What remains is awakened state of experience. This is all the things, the meaning of using them as ladder to reach to the self, which we are studying in our various Upanishads, various Shastras nowadays. But to be able to comprehensively catching all of them, keeping in our heart and remembering that requires our exclusive application of our life only for that. That demands so much of viveka, vairagya, detachment from world, quietening the mind, all that. Oh, lamba chakkar hai. But anyway, till the mind becomes prasanna, daily do the thinking about the srishti. It is through pratiloma and anuloma becoming bhava, created, appeya, dissolved. Make it a habit. It helps in another way. That if creation's dissolution is happening, then in whose presence it is happening? It must happen in the presence or on the some substratum which is not created when the creation happens, which is not dissolved when the created world dissolves. That is me. So I am that. On me, like on the river bed, the river's water keeps on moving. Or the substratum water, the wave appears and disappears. So to on me, the conscious self, the mind appearing and disappearing. And in the mind, the thoughts are appearing, disappearing. And in the thoughts, the world is appearing, is disappearing. But all of them are in my conscious presence. Now, to understand it, how the mind has to be very sharp, subtle, strong, conscious, concentrated, we should know. वो तब बना चित्त को ऐसा बनाना तब जाकर वो अंदर के सत्य दिखते लाइक when you have to study any of the thing, you have to so concentrating, so lovingly attend to that. Any worldly thing, half-heartedly करने से काम नहीं होता. Even cleaning your house, even washing your utensils, even everything, when you apply yourself, you do it better. So too, when we make our inner equipment such way, subtle, and apply for the spiritual evolution, that better understandings, experiences come. Anyway, this is the shloka by. Now the Tei. बहुत important. Every shloka is worth contemplating every day, worth discussing every day. Now, निर्विण्णस्य विरक्तस्य पुरुषस्य उक्तवेदिनः मनः त्यजति दौरात्म्यम चिन्तितस्यानुचिन्तया. This is another shloka demanding lot of exhaustive explanation. So Purushasya. Purushasya means of you and me who are using the Purushartha Samarthya for sadhana. The ability to function, ability to perform is using for spiritual unfoldment. They are called as Purusharthi. Purusharthi is sadhaka. Other also are using their Purushartha, but that Purushartha they are doing for samsara, bandhana. not for sadhana ke dwara moksha. So purushasya, what are the things to be done? Nirvinnasya, viraktasya, uktavedinaha, chintitasya, anuchintaya. When these four things are done, what is the result? First we'll study that. Manaha tyajati dauratmyam. Mind gives up its own duratmata, its negativity, its natural tendency negativity. What is the natural tendency of the mind? It listens to vasanas, or it has its own habit of continuously in the chanchala svabhava, or in its own fancies or imaginations or projections. These are all the dauratmya of the mana, because of which it is not allowing the intellect to work on the scriptural sentences about the truth, about the reality. बच्चे काम नहीं करने देते माता पिता को, अनरूली है तो. बट वेन दे आर ट्रेन्ड वेल, वेन दे बिकम रूली दौरात्म्य, वेन दे लीव, देन द मदर कैन डू द वर्क. अंडरस्टैंड? सो मन का दौरात्म्य क्या है पहले समझो. व्हाट इज नेचुरल माइंड इटसेल्फ इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी हैव टू ट्रांसेंड इट, बट बिफोर ट्रांसेंडिंग वी हैव टू यूज माइंड फॉर साधना. फॉर यूजिंग इट फॉर साधना, द ऑपोजिट ऑफ द माइंड व्हिच इज कॉल्ड दौरात्म्य वी हैव टू कंट्रोल. So duratmata of the mana is rajoguna. Duratmata mana is chanchalata, which is the main topic here, because मन को निश्चल बनाना या मन को निग्रह करना. These are the two sadhanas we spoke in last 8 shlokas. It started with achalam manaha, dharayed achalam manaha. And earlier also, yeshavai paramo yogaha manas sangraha. Controlling mind, quietening mind are the sadhana. Therefore, uncontrolled mind, disturbed mind is dauratmya yukta mana. Mana which has negativity in it. Like somebody is speaking lies. That is dauratmya. Actually, truth should be spoken. Somebody is cheating. So it is dauratmya. One should be honest, should not cheat. Somebody is becoming angry for everything. He should be patient and accepting. He is not doing. He is doing anger. That's called dauratmya. You understand? That is the, so to the dauratmya of the mana is what? Chanchalata. And not in our control. That dauratmya, mana will leave away these sadhanas if you do. And they are very important. Remember, the control of mind, quietening the mind is the final step after which we realize the self. For that, how much of the sadhana is to be done, we have to know it and do it. Importance is there in knowing also, importance is there in doing. And if that is not known or done, mind always will be there as a cloud to cover the sun of our own self. मन रूपी बादल परमात्मा रूपी सूर्य को हमेशा ढकेगा ही. अगर जानकर इस मन के दौरात्म्य को छोड़कर नियंत्रण करके मन के ऊपर ही कदम लगाकर मन के परे रहने वाले परमात्मा को नहीं जाने तो. So 4 sadhanas. Again, first one is nirvinnasya, which already came in the first shloka of this topic. Nirveda. Nirveda is a highly matured stage where through a pratiloma anuloma bhavapya bhava, when everything is understood to be ephemeral, unreal, we have no interest at all in that. That state is called nirveda. Nirveda. Is it not? When you go to a flower garden or the fruits garden, whatever, hundreds and thousands of flowers, fruits are there. How much excited we become to pluck them or to buy them or you consume them? Is it not? But go to a desert, kuch nahi hai wahan. Then what is the mind's state? That state of mind is called nirveda. That example may not look good, but that's how, knowing that the world is empty, when we are not interested, that's called nirveda. Nirveda mayat na asti akrita krutena. And this nirveda is such a crux of spiritual sadhana. And with that nirveda only, the mana stops creating and running behind the ungodly things. After nirveda only, that mind can be fully engaged in the rasayukta jnana marga of tattva chintanam or the rasayukta bhakti marga of upasana ityadi. And remember, this ke man mein ye nirveda nahi hai. When he is exposed for any bhakti bhajan kirtana, the mind full of raga dvesha kama krodha, it will think about that only. अब जिसके मन में इन किसी भी चीज के प्रति इच्छा ही नहीं, मान, like even now, If your mind is full of Nirveda, absolutely disinterested about anything, your listening to the class will be so wonderful. My speaking also, if I am like that. Is it not? So a bhakta will be bhakta when he has got Nirveda. A jnani can do unobstructedly the contemplation on the self only when he's got Nirveda. Nirveda is total disinterestedness towards anything of this world or other world because they are meaningless, pithless, they are unreal, they are delusory, illusory binding. ये सब करना है निर्विण्णस्य. Then viraktasya we said, when with Nirveda, when we do sadhana en route, we are given a variety of facilities. Like Hanumanji going for Rama, Mainaka Parvata came. Or even going for Rama's work to search for Sita, Mainaka came. So that's a very good, but Hanumanji did not stop there. That's called Virakta. He had no other work even to serve Sugriva after meeting Rama. Only Rama Karya is Jivan Lakshya. That's called Nirveda. First point. While performing Rama Karya, either Mainaka came here or in Lanka, he has seen all the tempting objects. He never had even a thought about possessing them. Remember, all the Vanaras were like that. That after killing Ravanadi and while coming back from there, it's not that जो भी कुछ चीजें हैं वो लूट कर लिया है. It's not like that many Ukrainian rich people taking all the rich things and going to other countries. They're going, they have to go, they have to survive. It's good. भाई उनका खुद का है वो तो ले ही जा रहे हैं. Wrong example that way. But these Vanaras did not bring anything. Whatever Vibhishana gave as a gift, they took. बट अयोध्या में आने के बाद भगवान राम ने ढेर सारा दिया वानरों को. दे टुक इट एज प्रसाद. विरक्त, दैट्स अ स्टेट ऑफ माइंड वी हैव टू इवॉल्व. And only when this type of topics again and again heard, then we may feel like getting that Nirveda. Opposite to this, when we are in the world of indulgence, then Nirveda instead of that Raga, Dvesha, Kama, Krodha, those things will enter into the mind. Then with that one cannot do spiritual sadhana, come what may. निर्वेद के बिना कोई भक्ति ज्ञान अच्छा वाला हम नहीं कर सकते, रिजल्ट तक नहीं जा सकते. ये पक्की बात है. पक्की बात है इतनी है कि इसको आप बदल नहीं सकते, चाहे कुछ भी हो. whether you do sadhana or don't do whatever it is, but this rule, this thing will not change. You can't edit this principle. With nirveda only bhakti and jnana and virakta. When the phala comes, when the siddhis come, when the temptation come, when appreciation come, when powers come, when positions are offered, virakta. No, these are all, as we said, same devatas who trouble us health-wise and otherwise on the way of sadhana, themselves will trouble later on by giving us the siddhis. ले लो ले लो ले लो. अब वहीं भी हमें नहीं फंसना है, उसके लिए विरक्ति होना है. I want nothing and nothing and nothing but Paramatma, like Nachiketa. He got Nirveda for everything on the earth. That's why he could go to Yamaraj without any doubt. When everything is put in front of his eyes, he had Virakti for them. That made Yamaraj prasanna. Therefore, he revealed the truth. Now, only to listen theoretically from Yamaraj that Nachiketa was not Nirveda and Virakta. Genuinely he was so. Therefore, his listening was complete in giving him experience also. अनुभव रूप आत्मानुभव मिला नचिकेत को, नॉट सिद्धांत. हम जो कर रहे हैं सिर्फ सिद्धांत. सिद्धांत के काल में हम निर्वेद विरक्त है, इसलिए सिद्धांत समझ में आ रहा है. बट उसको अनुभव में लाने के लिए पूरा निर्वेद विरक्ति अंदर से होना है, तभी अनुभव आएगा. And why the Nirveda and Virakti? Then only the mana stops fluttering and agitating and projecting and creating and binding us. Then only the self which is behind the mind can be seen. So Nirvinnasya Viraktasya, 2 words explained. Then Purushasya Uktavedinaha. Uktavedin means in the above 7-8 slokas, whatever is said, the one who's clearly understood them. Like we saw all that atandritaha anurodena margena, then manasa gatim na visrujetu, then jita prana, jitendriya, sattva sampanna buddhi, all these sarva bhavanam pratilomanulomataha bhavapayau anudhyayet. Uktavedi means the one who is knowing all of them and doing. So, Nirveda is making us not enter into the world. Virakti is when the things are coming, we are not getting running away with them. Okay. But Ukta Vedin is that sadhana by which consciously we are working on the mind to still bring it to quietness. उसमें बुद्धि का थोड़ा ज्ञान यूज कर रहे हैं, जपादि साधना भी यूज करेंगे. So that the positive effort to quieten it and control it. Ukta Vedi means he, the one who knows what is said, remembers it and does it. Three things are said. Fourth is most important. Chintitasya anuchintaya. Chintita means that which is worthy of contemplation. And what is worthy of contemplation is only Bhagavan. In Jnana Marga, Parabrahma, Sachidananda is the Chintita. And in the Bhakti Marga, Prasanna Karna Bhagavan ko. By total offering to him of my own entire personality through the Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Sparanam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanive. Through these 9 things, when we totally offer ourselves, surrender to the Lord, that is called as Chintita Anuchinta in the Bhakti Marga. That is the thing. In the Jnana Marga, Chintita means the thing to be contemplated, that is the self. Anuchinta means always remembering those mantras which reveal the truth and contemplating on that. When these 4 are done, Nirvinna, Virakta, Uktavedi and Chintita Anuchinta, then as we said earlier, Manaha Tyajati Dauratmyam. Mana gives a bit negative influence on us of not allowing us to realize the self, not allowing us to become Bhagavata. जो है वो मन अपना दौरात्म्य को छोड़ देगा, है ना. Pasa mind, like any of the things when you wash, the lambs, etc. So as we know that we have to put it in imli, tamarind, then we have to again ragdo it with all the scrubbers, then you have to polish it. इतने टेक्निक्स होते हैं और दिया को पूरा जला मतलब पूरा साफ करने के लिए. इन द सेम वे द मन का दौरात में छुड़वाना है तो ये सब करना है. दिस इज व्हाट वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड एंड फोकस. So one by one you work on it. Work on it first in understanding. How? Take this first word, Nirvinna. What is the meaning of Nirveda as explained to us by our Bhagavan Krishna? Nirveda is what? Knowing that this world and other worldly sukhas are only enslaving me. Atma Sukha is greater than that. Therefore, these are enslaving, they are not permanent. Therefore, I will not seek them. I don't want them. I don't want them. This is called Nirveda. Then second take out virakta. And in this world you are there. You are offered so many sense objects. You are offered so many respects, loves. You are offered so many of greetings and awards. About all of them virakti. जो सामने नहीं है उसको पाने की इच्छा है, निर्वेद का ऑपोजिट. जो ऑलरेडी है उसको एंजॉय करना है, विरक्ति का ऑपोजिट. तो जो सामने है उनको नहीं है, उनको नहीं मांगना निर्वेद. जो सामने है उसमें इंडल्ज नहीं होना विरक्ति. Then Ukta Vedin, remember all that. Remember the example of the horse. Then what are the things that are told? Never ever allow the mind to go in its own way without your awareness. That was said in one sloka. Manogatin na visujeta. Then through pranayama, to some extent, mind is controlled. Through indriya nigraha, mind is controlled to some extent. Then the Buddhist conviction also pulls the mind back from its unruliness. तो ये जो अभी तक बताया उसको उक्त वेदिन कहते हैं. Then Chintitasya Anuchinta. Daily all these have to be done. Then we can see the mind no more becomes so much unruly, not allowing us for deeper meditations. धीरे धीरे cooperate करेगा. The sign of the Mana Dauratmya removal is again and again, not only we have the desire of meditation and contemplation, but we are finding every time and every place convenient for meditation. We are not waiting for it. We are finding it. Anywhere, wherever we are, within a minutes of time, nothing binding, obstructing you can. Even on dining table, if खाना परोसने 5 minutes है, in that 5 minutes also you can go into meditation and come back. I'm just giving an example. Don't do it meditation while driving car, while doing work with any machinery or electrical things. वो फिर वो नहीं करना। खाना बनाते ध्यान में लड़क गए, फिर आग लग जाती है। ये नौटंकी नहीं करना। आई एम जस्ट गिविंग एन एग्जांपल टू से कि एनी टाइम अर्ली मॉर्निंग एट आफ्टरनून इज फ्री, डज इट इवनिंग, रात में इच्छा भी होगी ध्यान के लिए, संभव भी हो जाएगा करना, और करने के टाइम वो अनुभव भी। दैट्स कॉल्ड द माइंड व्हिच इज नो मोर एन अब्स्ट्रक्शन, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज मनः त्यजति दौरात्म्यम। No chanchalata, man. You just sit, you close eye, just say Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya a few times, then mind is quiet. How the mind is quiet? Because निर्वेद है भाई, विरक्ति है। अरे उक्तवेदी हूँ मैं, एंड देन अनुचिंतन चिंतित वस्तु का ही कर रहा हूँ मैं। The fourth word of चिंतित से अनुचिंता, fourth sadhana is so important. है ना? That is what is very essential. That like that जिसको own house चाहिए. How much of अनुचिंता he does of that house making? Or the women when they want ornaments. Any of the things of their choice. That is chintita for them. Goal. Anuchintana. They keep on thinking about it. Everybody has some chintita decided by them. And they do anuchintana of that. Is it not a person standing in is in politics? Somehow or the other, my party should win, I should become minister. वो इतना उसका अनुचिंतन करके क्या क्या दिमाग चलाते रहते हैं लोग. If you understand that example, we also Chintitasya Anuchintana means what? Again and again listening or referring to Upanishads, in which Paramatma Tattva is explained, and always thinking only about that. For example, always the mind is in this. Isha Vasyam Idagam Sarvam. Isha Ishteti Ishtutena Isha Vasyam Achadiniyam Idam Sarvam Stavara Jangamatakam Jagatu. Yat Kincha Jagatyam Jagatu. Go on contemplating only on that. What is the meaning of Isha? Controller. How Paramatma is a controller? By being the Atma in that. Antaha Atma Rupena Stitva Sarvanyamayati iti Antaryami Ishvaraha. That is called as Chintitasya Anuchint. Or any of the mantra of the Upanishad. Na Anta Prajnam, na Bahish Prajnam, na Ubhayata Prajnam. Or Yattad Adreshyam Agrahyam. Or Taddure Tadu Antike Tad Antarasya Sarvasya. Or as said in Kathani. Anyway, Chintitasya Anuchintanam. Take the alambana of any of the mantra, because that mantra is a capsule form of the contemplative material supplied to us. Like medicine is in the capsule. Capsule we take, medicine goes inside. So mantra we take, contemplation happens inside. Every mantra of Upanishad are capsules for us, a ready-made capsules for us, for putting our mind in the correct direction of contemplation on the truth. So beautiful it is. Om ityedaksharavidagam sarvam tasyopya vyakyanam tasya upavyakhyanam bhutam bhavat bhavishyati sarvam omkara eva. Chintitasya anuchinta, I am saying. In Bhakti Marga, Chintita is Bhagavan's Leelas, Bhagavan's Guna, Bhagavan's Karuna, Krupa is Ananta Shakti, and his Rupa Chintanam. You know, all that one can do. That gives us more clarity about glory of Bhagavan, Nirguna and Saguna. And that alone inspires us to seek him. We are not seeking Paramatma today, therefore all sadhanas we are not doing, because the glory of Paramatma is not got convinced in us, because Anuchintan nahi kiya humne. And we do the Anuchintana of the worldly bhoga. Therefore that only gets the attraction, and we get enchanted by it only. Throughout the day, Anuchintana of the worldly things, individually or with the people. फैमिली मेंबर्स हो, दोस्त हो, बड़ीदार चाय है, लहसुन लहसुन वाला नहीं, अदरक वाला। चाय में लहसुन नहीं डालते अभी तक, अदरक का चाय पिएंगे। अब क्या मौज से शौक से कहते हैं, हाँ मसालेदार चाय पिएंगे। नो, यू डू द अनुचिंतन ऑफ दैट, देन द माइंड इज विल बी चाय चाय ओनली। इस संडे को ना हम 3 सब्जियां 2 दाल और ये वाला वो वाला बनाएंगे, खाएंगे। होता है कि नहीं? उसी का चिंतन करते हो तो मन में वही रहेगा। और अबाउट द पीपल, is Barna, when we do this function at home, we'll call all of them. We'll do that kitty party. All Kit Kats will come. You Chintita, you just see everybody is enchanted by whatever they are continuously thinking about. The children think about, you get a bike and sit on that and zoom. एक ही पहिए पे गाड़ी चलाएंगे. चलाया, पापा को पता चला एक पहिया निकाल दिए, अब चला. Anyway, you are driving on one पहिया. Why waste the other one? ले जा. Very interesting. चिंतित से अनुचिंता. फॉर अस दैट इज द चिंतित. अब मेरा चिंतित क्या है आजकल कि क्या शास्त्र पढ़ाना है, इतने बाकी जिंदगी में क्या पढ़ना है. आई डू अनुचिंतन ऑफ दैट. हाउ मेनी श्लोकास इन भागवत, वाल्मीकि, अध्यात्म, रामायण. व्हाट आर द मोर इम्पोर्टेंट टेक्स्ट व्हिच कैन गिव मी टेस्ट. इज इट नॉट? आप कभी चिंतित होते स्वामी जी कब खत्म हो जाएंगे, क्लास कब खत्म हो जाएगा. More important is this. And Adhyatmika Sadhaka does the Chintana of Saguna Paramatmas, Guna, Leela, Dhama, all that. Nirguna Paramatmas, all is Swarupa Chintana. What is the meaning of Sat? What is the meaning of Chitta? What is the meaning of Anantata, Ananda? What is the meaning of Adhyasa or Aropa? What is the meaning of being Upadhi? How the Upadhi is conditioning. These are called Chintitasya Anuchintana. Example of rope and snake. How the snake is seen, where from it is seen. चिंतित से अनुचिंता. सारे जो प्रतिबिंबवाद, अवच्छेदवाद, विवर्तवाद जितने भी हमारे हैं शास्त्रों में वो सब. And the best of all is our own मांडुक्य उपनिषद, as we explained 10 minutes back. Okay? इस तरह से when we do 4 निर्विण्णस्य विरक्तस्य उक्तवेदिनः चिंतितस्य अनुचिन्तया मनः दौरात्म्यं त्यजति. Mind no more become chanchala to project its own fancy and make us attracted and identified. When the mind loses its dauratmya of the chanchalata, there's no mind, you'll experience the self. किसी भी कीमत पर मन को वहां से हटाओ, परमात्मा का दर्शन करो. मन हटेगा तभी जब वो निश्चल होएगा. निश्चल होने के लिए सब करना. Temporary nishalata of the mind is in nidra, but there also it's not nishal. It's always thinking about the nidra vritti, abhava vritti, abhava vritti. Under some सोडोमाइजेशन, वट एवर यू कॉल, क्या कहते हैं उसको, ड्रग्स में, वो भी थोड़े निश्चलता लगता है मन का. नॉट दैट. इवन जड़ समाधि, जबरदस्ती समाधि, श्वास के ऊपर ध्यान करना, ये सब भी मन को निश्चलता में लाते हैं. बट देर ऑल टेम्पररी. देर ऑल लाइक अप्लाइंग ब्रेक्स. जबरदस्ती रिलीज द ब्रेक, अगेन इट इज. बट द वेदांतिक विचार ऑफ understand the world to be unreal is the real way by which permanently the mana becomes nischala and it is transcended. En route, what helps is removal of vasanas. That is done through viveka, vairagya and all. That's a permanent solution. Other things are only a forceful things. Forceful, all of them. The compelling things. But Vedanta is ultimate. Anyway, now next one, again Bhagavan says. He is giving in every shloka, some new things are added, already told things are deeply explained. In short, we are getting new tips for sadhana, more and more details. Yamadivir yoga pathaihi anvikshikya cha vidyaya mamarchopasana bhirva nanyair yogyam smaren manaha. These are the 3 things by which yogyam manah smaretu. And anyaihi, by not other means. Manah yogyam smaret. After mind is brought to the nischalata, the dauratma is gone away, then manah do the smarana of the yogya vastu, that is the meditation on the self. And in the deep meditation of the self, the chitta vritti, the mana slowly loses its thickness, starts become thinner, it disappears like the cloud becoming in the Sharad Ritu, thinner, and the sun behind is seen. It doesn't happen in the rainy season. The cloud is very thick. एक के बाद एक 4-5 क्लाउड होते हैं और निकलते हैं नहीं और सूर्य दिखते ही नहीं. It's Sharad Ritu, it is not. One cloud is there, it देखते देखते पतला होकर परमात्मा दिखते हैं. In the same way, the mind become thin. That is why Tanu Karanam it is called as. Tanu Manasa. Tanu Manasa. Then Padartha Bhavani Turiyaga. In the 7 steps of realization according to Yoga Vasishtha, the Tanumanasa, Padartha Bhavana and Turiyaga. These are the last 3 steps. Shubhecha, Vicharana, Arthapati, all these they talk about. मान का तनुकरण करना. Thick, thin, gone. Self is realized. That is called as Yogyam Manah Smaret. What is Yogyam? Paramatma only. Na Anyahi, not any other sadhanas. All other things will only create mind to be more stronger obstruction. Make the mind more a strong obstruction. What are the 3 sadhanas? Yama Adibihi Yoga Pathaihi. See? It's a big subject. Every shloka, whole day I have to explain you. आपको ले जाकर आश्रम में बिठाकर सात्विक भोजन देके मन बुद्धि को शार्प सटल बनाकर देन एक एक चीज पढ़ाना है या आपको पढ़ना है. Not this way. We are so free to eat anything, make the mind tamasic. In the class, nobody to ask us or control. आधा सुनते, आधा नहीं सुनते, आधा समझते, नहीं समझते. And then so many texts confusing. This is also confusion, no doubt. एक ही टेक्स्ट सुबह शाम एक ही श्लोक दिन भर. दैट्स हाउ वी हैव टू स्टडी. वो भी आएगा इस जन्म में नहीं तो अगले में. इन दैट वे वन ईशावास्य वी स्टडी इनफ मुक्ति. सो फर्स्ट वन यमादिभिर योग पथैः. ऑल द साधनास ऑफ द योग मार्ग, द राजयोग अष्टांग योग मार्ग आर एसेंशियल टू मेक द माइंड स्टार्ट फोकसिंग ऑन द योग्य. In that yoga patha, as we said, चित्त संस्कार निकालकर चित्त को अपने आप भागने वाले टेंडेंसी से उसको रोकना. चित्त वृत्ति निरोधः. We have to do that. Then that mind, as we said in the beginning, which is in our control, can contemplate. Then yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. These all have been spoken, have been told by the Lord in the last 7-8 chapters. I did not put that extra effort of mine to selectively tell you. Yama Niyama, these are the 12 anyway Bhagavan told in the last chapter. Asana ke baare mein he told us at the time of puja upasana. And then dhyana, pranayama pratyahara again and again is saying. Dharana dhyana samadhi to is chapter mein bataya, pehle bhi bataya. Ashtanga yoga sadhana. So it is endorsed by the Lord. Therefore, just because you are a Bhakta or Vedanti, don't reject that sadhana. And yoga sadhana should equip our mind for the contemplation of the Advaita Vedanta. Then take the help of bhakti in between. That's how complete integral sadhana we have to do without fighting with anyone. सबकी जरूरत नहीं है तो भगवान सब क्यों देते हैं? But each stage one thing is required, you do it. If you don't need it, you go ahead, but don't tell that others that you don't need it, you don't do it. है ना, कुछ लोग वेद पहले जन्म में पढ़कर सार ग्रहण करके आते हैं इस जन्म में. So in this janma, no need of any mantra remembering, they can contemplate on self. And such people, if they are matured, they don't talk against Vedas. If not, then they say, कोई जरूरत नहीं, आंख बंद करो, meditation करो. नहीं होता हो. It's not right. You are insulting Vedas. You are denying Vedas. Many people do like that. होते मतलब एक महान होते हुए भी छोटे छोटे गड़बड़ करते हैं जिससे नुकसान महान होता है. And when that Mahatma dies, all his followers have no support now. In our Gurudev system, it is not there. He let all Swamis die, but Shastras are there. You hold on to them and you reach. Shastra padhate ho, not independent. एनीवे योगी लोग तत्व को जानना है शास्त्र के द्वारा. शास्त्र को जानकर तत्व जानने वाले यमादि योग साधना से चित्त का वृत्ति कर निरोध करके उसका यूज करना है. सो यमादि ही योगपत ही एक्सप्लेन. सेकंड आन्वीक्षिक्या च विद्या. Second is Anvikshiki Vidya. Anvikshiki Vidya is the Vidya about the Tattva. That Paramatma is Drashta, he is a Sakshi Chaitanya, he is Shuddha Sadgana Chidgana Ananda, he is Nitya Nirantara, he is Ekameva Advayam. And in him there is nothing other than him. If anything is there is only imagination, projection. All pure Vedantic knowledge is Anvikshiki Vidya. Yamadi Yogapata is working on the Prakriti. Anvikshiki is working on Purusha, the pure self. That we have to do that about the nature of the self, about the selves being reality, self being reality. That study we have to thoroughly study, of which we got an initiation in this life from last 2 years. It's only beginning. Second is this. Third one is what? Mama Archana Upasana Virva. By doing Archana and Upasana to me, and Telugu people are lucky, in the morning Vishnu Sahasranama, this is what? Yudhishthira asks this only. Kim ekam daivatan loke kim vapyekam parayinam stuvantak kam archantaha prapnuyur manavashuvam kodarva saradharmanam bhavatam karmamatah kim japan muchyate jantur janma samsara bandhana. भीष्मवाच जगत्प्रभुं देवदेवम् अनन्तं पुरुषोत्तमं स्वनामसहस्रेण पुरुषसत्त्वोत्थितः तमेव चार्चयन् नित्यं भक्त्या पुरुषमव्ययं ध्यायन् स्तुवन्नमस्यं यजमानस्त्यमेव च अनादिनं विष्णुं सर्वलोकमहेश्वरं लोकाध्यक्षं स्तुवन् नित्यं सर्वदुःखातिको भवेत्. We are seeing with Shankara Bhashya, Telugu में मेरे को तो मजा आ रहा है. So same thing. Mama archa upasana bhi. This is bhakti. By this, the mind is freed from its dauratmya and employed in, effectively, successfully employed in yogyam smareta, in contemplating on the absolute self. If these three are not done, Ashtanga Yoga, Jnana Marga and Bhakti Marga, in any other Marga, what is the fourth one? Karma Marga. In that Karma Marga, the mind is more activated to get identified with the Kartrutva, with the Karma, and to do the Karma, importance given to all the activity, prakriyas, all the objects, then the Karma Phala will never leave you to enjoy that. You have to go into Janma Varna. Therefore, no other thing mind should be engaged, means karma, etc. or any other things which we think about. All other ways of lifestyle, other than Ashtanga Yoga, other than Anvikshika Vidya, other than Paramatma's Upasana Archana, they will make the mind more powerful and disturbing. They will never allow us to become Adhyatmika. The other things of the mind is all this raga, dvesha, kama, krodha, lobh, moh, mahat, mahatsarya. अब उसको एंटरटेन करो तो पूरा चला जाएगा सत्यानाश. न अन्यैः योग्यं स्मरेत मनः. So mana yogyam smaret by these three. Anything opposite to these three, contrary to these three. Means instead of doing the vritti nirodha of the chitta, we are making chitta vrittis vijrumbita by kamadi vichara or vikara. Instead of thinking about the reality to be truth to be real and the world to be unreal, again through kama krodhani, when we make the world as real and forget the self. Third one is, instead of doing upasana archana bhagwana, we only consuming everything as a bhokta, as a what do you say, indulgent person. These are called as anya. If these anya are done, the mana cannot be fit for meditation. Yogyam smaret, ye nahi karega man. Yogya means Paramatma. Smaret means meditation. Yogya Smaret means mind become meditational worthy to know the truth. Will happen only through these three, not opposite of these three. So therefore, avoid the opposite of these three, involve only in these three, and make the mind meditate on the Yogya Vastu as the self. So this is how Bhagavan gave us the integral yoga here of bhakti, jnana and yoga, ashtanga. कर्म का तो हो गया अभी. वी हैव डन कर्म इज धर्म डन. अब इससे ज्यादा क्या करना है? अब जीने के लिए जो चाहिए बस करो, बाकी जरूरत नहीं. नाउ इन द सेम वे next 4 slokas 25 to 28 are so important, as I was saying from day one, to you and I who are at the initial stage of sadhana, who have not given up the negative activities, negative thoughts or the indulgences, and some papa ityadi also happen in us. We keep on falling, slipping. How to help ourselves negotiating through that? Bhagavan gives this in this next 4 sloka. In my understanding, for you and me, more important than any other topic is this, which we'll discuss tomorrow. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की जय. इतना हो गया आज. धन्यवाद भागवत.